What if we took the star rookie Angel Reese and made her team up with Caitlin Clark, her Rookie of the Year competitor, meaning the WNBA's two most talked about stars would join forces in Indiana. And when you take the electrifying shooting of Clark and add the mesmerizing rebounding of Angel Reese, you have to wonder, how quickly can this duo win a championship together? We'll find the answer to that question and more very soon, but for now, we start off in their rookie season. And their debut year has to start off by talking about Clark, whose college buzz was joined with doubters who believed there was no way her game would translate to the pros. However, she was wasting no time proving all of them to be wrong as she came into the spotlight like a woman on a mission, and the rest of the league was quickly taking notice. Other teams' defenses were starting to focus on slowing her down, but as the season went on, she was only getting better every single game as she was becoming more comfortable with the pace of the WNBA. Her rookie averages of assists would be just shy of 8 a night, which would lead all players in the league, and it was clear that she was the main focal point of her team's offense. And to further support those claims, her scoring abilities were impressive as well, to say the least. Her 20.9 points per night were enough to have her in the top 5 scorers of the entire league, and by a wide margin, she was the top scorer amongst all rookies. While her impressive play was mostly due to her own exceptional skill set, a lot of her success was enhanced by her star running mate, Reese. Many of the assists she was dishing out would be to Angel Reese scoring in the pick and roll, and anytime Clark was missing a shot, more often than not, Angel was finding ways to get offensive rebounds, resulting in additional shot opportunities. Reese's rebounding was not to go unnoticed, as her 13.3 rebounds per game were also enough to lead the entire association. Both of our stars were playing incredible during their first year playing pro basketball, and they were on top of the Rookie of the Year race all 40 games. No other rookie was even in the conversation, and there were tons of discourse on social media about which of these highly deserving players were more deserving of the award, but at the end of the day, it could only be one. The Rookie of the Year goes to Caitlin Clark. As you would probably assume, don't get me wrong, Angel Reese is great. I don't need all the hate in the comments. She's phenomenal. But Caitlin Clark is on another level. She gets her first personal achievement of this simulation. But at the end of the day, the goal of the video is to win a championship, which is a team accomplishment. So more important than this Rookie of the Year, we need to see how good did the Fever do. And considering Indiana has had a losing record for the last 7 consecutive seasons, it wouldn't be too surprising if yet again they failed to make the playoffs. Their number 1 scoring option, Kelsey Mitchell, was really good, but not good enough to lead a team on her own. Another solid player, Aaliyah Boston, was a talented big, but was still young and inexperienced. With all that said, expectations were low for this team, but with the addition of 2 of the league's brightest up-and-coming stars, they completely crushed those expectations as they were finishing the season with the 3rd seed. The Fever did get the 3rd seed, but that does not mean round 1 is going to be easy. They are matched up against the New York Liberty, one of the better teams in the entire WNBA. They have Stewart, possibly a top 2 or 3 player in the entire league. They have Iana Nescu. I don't know how to say her name, but I know she can shoot that ball. And then Jonquel Jones, another one of the probably top 10 players in the WNBA. They may have the higher seeding here in round 1, but it's not going to be an easy series for the Indiana Fever. Just as I was expecting, this series was going to completely test our duo. Right out the gates, Breanna Stewart was attacking the rookie Angel Reese. This was going to be one of the primary matchups in this series, and all eyes were on how the young star would respond. And while Angel was putting up a worthy fight, there was only so much she would be able to do against last season's MVP. Stewart was cooking her every trip down, and this could get scary, except for the fact that at just the right moment, Caitlin Clark was stepping up big. In her professional playoff debut, she was having probably the greatest game of her basketball career. She was on fire like never before, and every shot she took seemed to be dropping in while barely touching the net. She was getting her WNBA career high of 39 points and leading the Fever to an impressive win to go up 1-0 in the best-of-3 series. But as this series now shifts out to New York for game 2, things could be changing quickly for the Liberty. Clark was again having another very solid showing with 27 points this time around, but the Liberty were making a mark of their own. Here in the second game, it was the battle of the guards as Ionescu was fighting back against the rookie Caitlin. She was shooting threes at a very impressive rate, and before we knew it, the Liberty were right back in this series. Round 1 of the WNBA is a best-of-3 series, which means this next game is essentially the equivalent of a Game 7 in an NBA playoff series. Huge game for our 2 rookies. If they win here, they go to the semifinals. There's only 3 rounds in the WNBA playoffs. First round, semifinals, and then the championship series. This could be big for their career and their goal of getting that 1 ring. The The one advantage the Fever had here, though, was home court and their fans for this big moment. This would be the biggest game of our duo's career together so far. But could they step up to the big moment? Caitlin Clark for sure was. As much like she did in games 1 and 2, her scoring absolutely showed no signs of slowing down. She was an efficient shot creator, and anytime her team needed a big bucket, she was providing in whatever way needed. But in this pivotal game 3, the big difference maker was actually going to be Angel. So far in this sim, she's mostly been talked about for her rebounding contributions to the team, but in this match, she was doing it all. Her scoring the pick and roll and even low post-ups was just the added push that Indiana was looking for. On the other end, she was even doing a great job of slowing down Stewart. Much like Clark in game 1, Reese was now having her best game of her career, but it may have been for nothing. The Liberty weren't letting up in the face of the two powerhouse rookies. They were still playing their game, and they were a team eager to go and get a championship. Unfazed by playing on the road in Indiana, their big 3 of stars were firing on all cylinders, and despite Clark and Reese's best efforts, after a timeout late by the Fever, this game was up in the air and it was either side's for the taking. In a win or go home game 3, the Liberty have the ball off the inbound. Jones's midi is off. They went quick there, about a minute left, and now the Indiana Fever have the ball with a chance to go to the semifinals. The pull from Mitchell banks it in, the 2-point lead. The Liberty with the ball now again. They're going quick here in the WNBA. Ionesco here, I think I'm saying that right. She's trying to force it down low. They're swinging around to Burke. Burke taking their time here, swinging it back. I think they're trying to get to the Stewart. Stewart in the pick and roll, driving it in there on Angel Reese. It's not going in the hands of Stewart. Ionesco for 3. The big shot, it's off. It's off. The Fever have, they're gonna foul. Kelsey Mitchell ended up splitting the free throws. It's now a 3-point game. Shot clock and game clock are almost identical here. 15 seconds remaining. The Liberty backs against the wall, down by 3. The Fever just desperately need one stop. The fadeaway 3. Ionescu hits it. She sinks it in to tie the game. The Fever still have time though. 10 seconds left in this game. Caitlin Clark with the ball. The biggest moment of his career. 1-on-1 here at the top. She pulls from deep quick. It's off the Liberty. The rebound in the timeout. That was a quick shot from Caitlin Clark, and that might bite them here at the end. The Liberty off the inbound. What is the plan in the corner? Ionescu? No, it's going to Burke. Wide open. Oh, it rims out. We're headed to overtime. Going into overtime, Clark was making up for her failed attempt to win the game in regulation. She would start off the extra period hot, hitting 4 for 4 shots as she led her team, but the Liberty were still keeping up. They were playing just as well in overtime, and this nail biter was continuing. Headed into overtime, neither side was really able to get any major separation. The Liberty have a chance now though, up by 1 with the ball with a minute remaining in this game. They could get a 3-point or even a 4-point lead here if they play their cards right. Ionesco to pick and roll with Stewart. Kicks it out. Laney, the quick pull-up. The WNBA players, she hits it. These WNBA players make quick plays here. It's kind of throwing me off trying to commentate this. The NBA, the plays are much slower in these final moments and the jump-ins. These women basketball, they're going quick. They came to play. Kelsey Mitchell gives over to Samuelson. You got to get it to Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese, he's an option. Samuelson, another quick trigger, but hers rims out, and they're gonna foul. All right, doesn't look like they're playing a foul game yet. They fouled there, but now they're not. I guess the 2K25 AI got changed. They're trapping. Laney wide open in the corner, doesn't take it. Jones out here, Leah Boston, they're actually trapping. I'm sorry, I'm blown away. The 2K25 AI is actually smart enough not to just be idiots at the end of games. They go into the free throw line though. They are going to need a little bit of luck here down the stretch, but with another miss, even a make, if she makes a 5-point game, they're still in this. The Fever coming out of a timeout. You could go for a quick 2. I think the 3 is your best option, especially when you have the legs of Caitlin Clark getting wide open there in the corner. She doesn't take it. She's getting in the mid-range now. Spin move, trying to force her way into the paint, maybe draw some contact. You're wasting a lot of time if you're Caitlin Clark right here. Caitlin nowhere to go, losing the dribble. Kelsey Mitchell gets it within 2. 9 seconds left, the full court press. They're gonna go straight for the foul on Burke. We saw Burke miss one earlier. Can she miss another? The first one's good. 3-point game. The Fever needed to miss the second one. They need one miss if they want to win this game. The second one, it's buzzer out. It's off. It's off. Fever timeout. What a crazy first playoff appearance for our rookie duo. Down by 3, 8 seconds left. It's got to be Caitlin Clark here. Caitlin off the inbound. She's at the mid-range. The pump driving in. Kicks out. Samuelson, the tie! Samuelson for the tie! Timeout Liberty! This is an insane game here in the WNBA. New York Liberty now. 2 seconds left. They got to get it inbounded. Is it going to go to Stewart here? Curling around. Burke in the corner to make up for the free throws. It's off. And again, the Liberty had more control with a little separation, but the double overtime was still going the distance. The Liberty were just up by 9 with like 2.5 minutes left. I don't know what happened. I started simcasting and it got real close. They have the ball now though, up by 2. They still have some good separation, but this one is far from over. Pick and roll Ionescu to pull up 3 is off. We see an Angel Reese rebound. Caitlin Clark has it now. 35 seconds. They can still win this game. It's anyone's game. Caitlin Clark going for the layup. A lot of contact. That one is off. This might do it. The Liberty scores here. This game could actually finally be over. Ionescu up here at the top. I'm probably messing her name up every single time I say it. I apologize. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. She has to do something here. She's stalling out all the clock. She wants the last shot. Pulls it from deep. That's off. Angel Reese, the big board. Oh my goodness. I don't know how much more of this I can take. They are going shot for shot here. Down the stretch. Down by 2. Caitlin Clark. 6 seconds left. Her pull-up. The jumper out of nowhere. This one is going to be over. But even still, I mean, you have to be impressed how good they did in just their first season. Even though they lost, to go head-to-head with the Liberty like this. Finally, the fever would be falling in this climactic battle, and while Clark was disappointed in her attempts to come up clutch, you still have to be impressed with how hard this duo fought, and the sky would be the limit heading into season 2. But the fever could be taking a major hit to their roster. Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever's leading scorer, was leaving in free agency to Phoenix, meaning now, even more than last season, Indiana's success was falling completely in the hands of Reese and Clark. Unfortunately, Angel Reese was in a bit of a sophomore slump. Even though she was still bringing production to the team, it was a slight drop from her stats the year prior. Part of this was due to the rise of the Fever's other big in the paint, Aaliyah Boston, who was developing into a potential all-star caliber player. Luckily though for the Fever, Clark wasn't going to be in the same slump as Angel. Caitlin was pushing her game up another octave in her second season with the WNBA. Much like year 1, she was a focal point on offense, but now with Kelsey gone, she was more important than ever. Her claim to fame continued to be her incredible shooting from deep beyond the arc, but this year her inside scoring was also taking major strides. Unfortunately though, other teams took notice of Mitchell being gone, and the double teams were piling up on Clark. This resulted in a much worse record than the year prior, but they were still making the playoffs. Only those playoffs were against the defending champions, the Las Vegas Aces, who were led by the league's back-to-back MVP, Asia Wilson. Going into this series, Reese and Clark were both focused and eager to win after a devastating loss in last year's postseason. Each of our stars were on their A game and playing some of the best basketball they've experienced in this entire sim, but it wasn't nearly enough. The Aces were the league's best team for a reason, and you could quickly tell why they were defending champions. The reigning MVP Wilson was on a remarkable run here, and no other player in the WNBA could even hold a candle to her. But that isn't where the Aces' dominance stopped. They also had Kelsey Plum running the point, one of the better guards in the league. Agwu Mikey was playing power forward and was a bona fide star as well, and to round things out, Jackie Young was their sharpshooter to space everything else. Needless to say, this series was over quickly, and if our duo was going to accomplish a goal of winning a ring, they were going to need some help. Luckily, in free agency, there were some huge names in the market that could be looking for new teams. Multiple All-Stars were available this year, and if the Fever could acquire one, it would completely reshape their team and solidify them as contenders. However, the Fever completely missed out on signing any of the stars. Their only notable signing was Sophie Cunningham, who granted was one of the best shooters in the league and would fit well alongside our stars. And while they didn't get an all-star with Cunningham, they got more talent another way. During the offseason, Angel Reese was working hard to perfect her craft. She benefited from her team scrimmages and was developing a solid low post game and becoming a respectable scorer to help lift the team's offense. Her newfound offensive abilities carried into the regular season, and with it, her stats saw an impressive rise from the first 2 seasons. She was now becoming a critical part of the team's flow, and it was exactly what the Fever needed to take a leap. But that wasn't even the most notable story, because this year, Caitlin Clark was making the jump from all-star to a now generational talent. She went from a great scorer and playmaker to the leading scorer in the entire WNBA and leading the league in assists per game all at the same time. Her efficiency was through the roof and her offensive toolbox was expanding, creating more shot opportunities, and nobody was prepared to stop her. It was without a doubt her best and possibly one of the WNBA's best ever seasons, and as such, she would be awarded. We officially have a Caitlin Clark MVP. Phenomenal stat line, 24 points a night, just over 8 assists, 50, 40, 90 club. Incredible year for Caitlin Clark. But again, just like the Rookie of the Year, this is a personal achievement, and while it's great, phenomenal for Caitlin Clark, this challenge is still a team accomplishment to win a ring, and with no playoff success whatsoever yet, it'll be interesting to see if now, with an MVP on their team and Angel Reese playing at such a high level, if they can finally make some progress in the postseason. And with as hot as the Fever were, it was no surprise that some playoff winning was finally on the horizon. Up against the Chicago Sky led by Paige Buchers, Indiana was using this as a great warm-up for the rounds to come. Our duo had no real risk of losing here, and after sweeping Chicago, finally they were winning their first ever playoff series, and their celebration was very much well deserved. With the big round 1 win, we are in the semifinals again. The WNBA only has 3 rounds, so if they can win this series against the Los Angeles Sparks, they're going to their first ever WNBA final. That might not be easy though, because this Sparks team is very solid. Cameron Brink, very good player. Kennedy Carter's on the team. Jackson, McGowan, they have a good roster. This probably won't be an easy series. But I was apparently very wrong, because in the best of 5 semifinals, our team was once again walking all over the competition. The Sparks had some solid veterans and a lot of talent, but it wasn't going to get in the way of our duo, who by now has built up all the chemistry in the world. They'd be winning the series 3-1 and were making a deep playoff run to earn the duo's first ever finals appearance and a chance of finally completing their goal of getting a ring. But in their way would be a rematch against A'ja Wilson. Although things were looking very different this time. The Fever were blazing hot in game 1 with everybody on the team hitting at a ridiculous clip. It was looking like this was a special run for Indiana, and they were already up 1-0 in the finals. But don't count out the Aces just yet. They were back-to-back champs for a reason. The next 2 matches, the tides of this series shifted quickly, with A'ja Wilson taking over and fighting to keep her team in this. They'd go on to win 2 straight, and with an opportunity to win the championship in game 4, they were up late in the game. The Fever have had a great run here in the playoffs up to now. Now they're down 2-1 in a best of 5 finals. If they lose here, they lose the championship. It's over. Caitlin Clark driving it in, draws some contact somewhere, is going to the line. MVP Caitlin Clark just hit both free throws, tied it up. The Aces did have a lead here with 1.5 minutes, but now it's all tied up. It's anyone's game. The Fever are trying to keep their finals hopes alive here and try to get a win to force a game 5. One final match. Martin in the corner. Martin nowhere to go, throws it down low. Agawumiki, I'm probably saying that wrong, gets the late 2-point lead. On the other hand, Caitlin Clark with it now. It's got to be Clark or Reese here in these final moments. It has to be one of our 2 stars operating here, trying to keep their team alive. Caitlin Clark with it, down by 2, a minute to go. Caitlin Clark off the screen, the step back 3, it's good! Hey, Clark gives them the lead. The Aces are bringing it up on the other end. A minute remaining, what a shot from Caitlin Clark. Clark 1-on-1 here. Chelsea Gray throws it down low. A'ja Wilson, the 2-time MVP here. A'ja gets fouled. That's crazy. Wilson hit free throw 1. There was like no contact. That was such a weak foul. Free throw number 2, trying to take the lead over the Fever. Wilson free throw good. Fever use a timeout. There's still a lot of time here, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a little nerve-wracking. Down by 1, 45 seconds left. Caitlin Clark trying to get open up the inbound. She receives the ball. Cunningham, Sophie Cunningham, the pickup in the offseason. Sophie gives them the lead again. What a shot for Sophie Cunningham. Gives them a 2-point lead. This is a back and forth affair here versus the Las Vegas Aces. The Aces have a lot more championship experience. In the corner, Martin, a quick trigger. That one is off Angel Reese. Now with the ball, they can extend this lead. Reese, taking matters in her own hands, gives it to Caitlin Clark. Clark now a chance for a legacy moment if she can score here in game 4 of the WNBA Finals. She gets the screen, the step back 3 again. Oh, it's off, it's off, it's off. Aces timeout. That was such a bold shot. That's the type of shot she takes, though. You got to live with the results. That you can't even be mad about it. Gray with the ball now. Caitlin Clark guarding her. 1-on-1. They get it down low to Wilson. Aaliyah Boston guarding Wilson. Wilson's late. It's off. Boston with the rebound. Free throw two possession game, and she hits this one. She nails them both. Aces, no timeouts left. 13 and a half seconds remaining in this game. They still have time, but they have to go quick. Gray with the ball now. They swing it over. Martin for three. Oh my goodness. Las Vegas just is not giving up. Now, if you're the Fever, you have to get this ball inbound. 5 seconds left. They get it to Caitlin Clark. Going to the line. Clark hit the first free throw. The second one puts them up by 3. No timeouts left for the Aces. 4.2. Is the 2K AI going to get a good shot here? Is it going to be a half-court heave? 2 seconds. It's a half-court heave for the tie. It's off. The Fever survive and force a game 5. Following the massive winning game 4, all the momentum was on their side back home for game 5, and it showed because this was a blowout. Las Vegas had no chance of keeping up, and with the final buzzer about to sound, the Fever were doing it. In just 3 years together, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were on top of the WNBA world, and they were being crowned champions to complete their goal. And to top it off, Clark was receiving the Finals MVP as she led her team to earning a ring. And speaking of rings, how many could LeBron get if he never left Cleveland? Find out by clicking this video next.